And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas from Mars, back with another episode of this MLB Show 22 Custom League. And we start this game off a little differently here than our other ones. We start this game, or this episode off, with a trade between Nashville and San Diego here. And, Nashville, they just had a big injury. Mike Trout went down for the season for them in the last episode or a couple episodes ago. And so they're trying to get a trade going here, and they're trying to get another offensive star to add to their lineup because their offense right now is very depleted. And they're looking at Brad Keller here, who has pitched their 40 innings so far for San Diego, 7 games total, 40 innings pitched. This is in AAA. So he is in AAA right now, but he is a beat potential pitcher, 27 years old, and is 76 overall. Carlos Hernandez is also in this trade here. He's a relief pitcher who is right now doing really well in AAA. 48 innings so far in AAA, 14 runs allowed, 40 hits allowed, a 2.61 ERA, 1.2 WHIP, 36 strikeouts, 75 overall, C potential guy, 26 years old. So a guy that could still get slightly better. And, for San Diego here, they need some pitching. And they are going to try and get it with those two guys, add a bullpen piece, add a third or a fourth starter to their rotation here. And Ori Polanco is a free agent at the end of the season here. And Polanco last year is 736 OPS. Not an amazing season last year, all things considered, but this year he has been a lot better. But still below 800 OPS hitter, 281 average for him, 6 home runs, 9 doubles, 48 hits, 344 on base percentage. And so for the Stars, they're trying to get some more offense onto their team here and onto their roster. San Diego trying to get some more pitching help. So not a huge trade here. Not a game-changing or a game-shaking type of deal. But, Nashville, you look at this offense, and right now their outfield is just very, very shallow, not deep at all. And, they had Santiago Espinal starting. Santiago Espinal was just really bad. He was just struggling mightily, and they just needed to get somebody else in that lineup. I mean, he was only batting .212 this season. So that'll get them another infielder here, and that will provide them, hopefully, with some offense. Right now, they're first in this division at the moment. We're going to call down Kian Wong right here. But they have Leo Munoz here, and he's starting to get some increases. He's been pitching really well, actually, so far in Double-A. Has had a couple of starts. Hans Cruz, wow, 24 years old, a 1.09 ERA, 5 runs in 37 innings. Kind of insane there. But you look at the Sharks' pitching rotation here, and besides Julio Urias at the top of this rotation, the rest of the rotation has definitely had its struggles this season, and that's definitely the weak point of this team. They are right now in the first place in the division, but you see all the other ERAs there are just not very good. And the bullpen has also been, the long relievers haven't been amazing. Guys like Aaron Bummer, Ryan Stanek, those guys have been really good, though. So we're going to call down another pitcher here. We're going to call down Dylan Bundy, who has really struggled to start the year. Carlos Hernandez is going to be that second long relief pitcher for the Sharks here. And yeah, Howie Kala, Pierce Johnson, Ryan Stanek, Emmanuel Clase, those pitchers and those relief pitchers have been really good so far this season for the Sharks. But, Brad Keller, 77 overall. He's going to be listed as their 5, but hopefully he gives them a spark on the pitching side, and he gives them another option there in the starting rotation. So we start the game off with a trade, but now we're going to go on to another game here. This is a full game that we're showing between the Tampa Bay Vipers and the Montreal Expos. Both of these teams sitting right at 400 right now. Basically 22 and 24 for the Vipers, 23 and 22 for Montreal. And we welcome back Zach Wheeler, who had one start this season and got hurt in that start. He only pitched like 6 or 7 innings, I think. Maybe even less than that. But he got hurt. He's back for injury. This is his first start since coming back. He was hurt for a little over a month. And, he's looking at this offense for Montreal. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. batting .288 has been hitting the ball really well. George Springer is on a hot streak. .246 average is a little low for him. Alex Kirilloff, .267. He's on a cold streak right now at the moment, but he is increasing just a little bit here. He's only 25 in this game, so hopefully it continues to increase. But Will Smith, real life, one of the best hitting catchers in the entire league. In this game, last year he really struggled, and this year he has been even worse. And his potential has gone down. He's now only a beat potential guy, and his hitting stats have gone down. I mean, look at these stats. 193 average, 26 hits on 135 at bats, 268 on base, 624 OPS. Just terrible offensive numbers. I don't know why. I have no idea why Will Smith is so terrible with the bat in this game. It really doesn't make any sense. He's one of the highest rated hitting catchers in the entire game. So that's kind of frustrating to see that happen. And Andy Pies right now, he's getting some increases, but yeah, below 300 on base, below 700 OPS. He's not hitting the greatest right now, only 31 hits for him so far, so he kind of needs to step up his offense. Overall, the offense for Montreal is really not anything very impressive at all. But here's Zach Wheeler, who was, a finalist for the Cy Young, and I think I actually gave him the Cy Young award. I think he's the winner of the Cy Young on my spreadsheet, but, last year had an insane year. 221 innings that led the league, 2.4 ERA. Only pitched 4 innings, though, in his first and only start so far in the season, so he's back. Kyle Gibson has been really impressive right now, and he got off to this kind of a start last year, too, in a year that he finished with a 2.46 ERA, but 14 runs and 58 innings so far for Kyle Gibson, who is 35 years old, and a guy that I definitely think is a trade candidate when the trade deadline comes around for this team. If they're not competitive and if they're not trying to get into a wild card spot, he's definitely a guy that might have some value. Mel Kelly, despite the cold streak, is still has an under 4 ERA here. As a number 4 pitcher, Dallas Keuchel has been pretty decent. Michael Pineda has been okay so far. I mean, he's the number 5, so not huge expectations for him there necessarily. Jillian Merriweather was really good for this team last year. He started off the season pretty good. Josiah Gray, the whip is super high, and the ERA is pretty high too. So this is not the start that we're looking to see from him. I mean, 31 walks in 42 innings is pretty ridiculous. He is walking a ton of guys right now. Josh Domont has been pretty awful. So is Miguel Castro. Nick Tropino has been decent. He has a really high whip, though. So he's allowing a lot of base runners. Cole Stewart doesn't have a huge sample there, but he's been okay so far. JP Wenoken has been pretty good, and Corey Knebel here has been pretty good as well. But overall, the bullpen for this team, 14 saves and 15 opportunities for Corey this season. Overall, the bullpen on that team, not amazing. It's pretty weak. Overall, it's not very deep at all. And then you go over to the pitching side of things for the Vipers here, still kind of in a rebuilding phase right now. Tanner Hawk, his whip is pretty decent. His ERA is pretty high, though. Here's Kyle Freeland. This is the pitcher pitching in this game and starting in under 4 ERA and a 1.15 whip for him so far. Eric Fetty has a 1.15 whip, 3.27 ERA as well. And Wade Miley, who was an off-season addition for this team, I believe, whip at 1.49, which is a little high here. Yeah, he pitched for San Diego last year, but 17 earned runs, 2.78 ERA. Honestly, not too bad. Those numbers are not that bad, all things considered. And Wade Miley is also a guy that, hopefully he does well enough that he's going to have some value, potentially a trade kind of person for them when that time comes. Nick Lodolo, so far in his rookie year here, this is his rookie season, didn't pitch enough innings to not be qualified. 56 strikeouts in 52 innings is really good. 3.46 ERA. I like where his whip is at. This is a good start overall for Nick Lodolo right now. He is allowing, a decent amount of base runners. I think he needs to keep the walks down a little bit more, but his K-9 is really awesome, and he's getting over 9 K-9 right now with those 56 strikeouts. And so I like what he's been able to do so far this season. Gavin Williams, though, You know, he was in AAA last year and trying to pitch him in the majors this season. And right now, he's just not doing very well up here. 49 hits allowed in 44 innings. I mean, basically has allowed 1 walk per strikeout. That's not great at all. Justice Sheffield just called him up to the majors. Jake McGee has been pretty good. Charlie Grace has been not that good, actually. He's kind of struggled in 13 innings. And this is his rookie year as well for him. He pitched 6 innings, like really nothing the last season at all. Zach Thompson, only 6 innings for him, so super small sample there. Ryan Harper has actually had 17 innings, and he's been good in those 17 innings. Dave Castillo has been really good in his 10 innings of work this season as this team setup guy. Already has 10 holds and 10.2 innings there. And then Andrew Kittredge, one of the better closers in the league, and he is having an awesome start to the year. 13 saves, 1 blown save only, 18 strikeouts in 16.2 innings. Let's look at this pitching, and, you know, there's not an overpowering pitcher there, really. The bullpen is just about average for you. The starting pitching is slightly below average, I would say. And then you get to the lineup, and there's some guys that are definitely struggling on this lineup here. Pedro Leon has been decent, you know, at almost 800 OPS, so he's been pretty good. But O'Neal Cruz has just really sucked this year, below 200 average. Just really, really slow start to the season. And Spencer Torkelson, after winning Rookie of the Year last year in the AL, this is definitely a step down for him. Only 664 OPS, below 300 on base. He's only walked 12 times. So, yeah, he's not getting on base a lot. Byron Buxton, his offense has been pretty awful and dreadful this season as well. I mean, a 188 on base percentage, 5 walks to 47 strikeouts. He's just not getting on base at all so far this season. This is a terrible year because last year he was really good. He had almost 30 home runs, almost 40 doubles last season. So I don't know where this terrible season for him is coming from. And JT Realmuto, just like Will Smith, is one of those catchers that kind of struggled last year. Maybe I shouldn't say that. He was actually really good last year, 349 average, or on-base percentage last year. But to begin this season, he has really struggled. Below 700 OPS, 225 batting average. So he's one of those catchers that his ratings are really good. One of the best hitting catchers ratings-wise in this game. But in the season, he's just not performing very well. DJ LeMahieu and Raul Tapia both have 260 averages here. But neither one of those guys have gotten on base super consistently. Kevin Pillar has not been great. Luis Guillorme has had some increases here, and his on base isn't bad because he does have 15 walks to 15 strikeouts. You know, he's playing okay, but there's just not a star really on this team right now. You know, the guys that you expect to be stars on this team, like Spencer Torkelson and JT Realmuto and Brian Buxton, you know, those are some star names, but they're just really not playing up to the task this season. And when you look at that lineup, I'm kind of surprised they're actually this close to 500 going into this game, to be honest with you here. But, yeah, the Expos trying to avoid going back to 500 on the season here. Tampa Bay trying to get one game closer to getting to 500. And Zach Wheeler back on the mound after a little hiatus from it here. And his first pitch of the game is a curveball that was a strike right down the middle, or the high part of the zone, basically. So not a great pitch to throw to Tapia here in the 0-1 now. Is inside, and it hits him. Hits Raul Tapia in the toe, and a base runner. So, I mean, a little bit of a struggling start here for Zach Wheeler. He's been a while since he's pitched, and that was way, way inside and almost hit Guillorme there. And so up to second base goes Tapia here. And Zach Wheeler looks like he's not settling in super well. His first start in a while. I guess it's understandable a little bit here. But he comes right back here and throws a four-seam fastball right on the corner to get a strikeout. And, you know, Zach Wheeler is so good. One of those pitchers that he does not need really anything at all to start cooking and start locating and pitch really well. That kind of a play right there might settle him in right now. Spencer Torkelson is at the plate now. Ground ball stopped by Lopez, and they're going to throw it to first base to get the out. So, working around, the hit by pitch right there is Zach Wheeler, and we go to the bottom of the first. So here's Kyle Freeland. Here's a little bit more of a breakdown of his stats this season. 46 hits allowed, 14 walks to only 30 strikeouts. He's not a strikeout pitcher, that's for sure, but I do like these numbers. These are pretty decent numbers for him, and he's not, you know, he's a 4 or 5 type of starting pitcher, and those are, you know, decent numbers for a guy of his caliber. You got Nicky Lopez, who is only batting .211, hasn't had, I mean, a little bit of a better batting average from April to May, but, you know, not by much, and the power is not there at all for him. So I don't know what to do about him. I just don't really like him on this team. But Tampa Bay Vipers, 22-24 on the season. I think I should probably take Nicky Lopez out of the leadoff spot at least, and he's kind of hearing that I'm talking trash about him as he gets a leadoff single into right field. So ran on for Hansel Alberto, who was kind of called up after a little bit of the first month of the season, and he's been actually pretty good since he got called up, and there was a hit and run put on right there by Montreal, and it ends up getting him to second base. So now Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is at the plate, and he's going to hit that one line drive over Torkelson and into right field. That is going to score a run, and up to second base safely goes Gurriel Jr. An RBI double, that's his 10th of the year, and the Expos will score first here in the bottom of the first inning. Good swing by Lourdes Gurriel Jr., just getting it over the outstretched glove of the first baseman, Torkelson, and that, you know, the ground ball there that moved him up proves to be a huge play as Montreal is ahead 1-0. While Tapia on the move there, right field makes the catch with the ball right on the line to end the inning. But, I mean, Gurriel Jr. has been this team's best hitter all season long, and he's, once again, coming through here in the clutch and getting a run for the Expos. Here's JT Realmuto to start the top of the second inning. 3-2 pitch to him. It's a slider, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So Zach Wheeler gets his second strikeout to begin this second inning here. And, you know, the first few pitches for him were uncharacteristic, but he looks like he's trying to settle in here. And here's DJ LeMahieu. 260 average, but the OPS not great because he doesn't have a lot of power, isn't showcasing that right now this season. That's a ball driven into center field, and that's a catch made by George Springer there to end the top of the second inning. So that was a 1-2-3 frame right there for Wheeler. And now here he is, George Springer, who just made that catch. Now he begins the bottom of the second here with a 246 average and 835 OPS, 8 home runs for him this year. Those are decent numbers for him. Wish his average was a little bit higher, but overall he's been playing pretty well. And that's going to be a ball that beats the shift and rolls. I mean, it stops actually at a dead still, but Juan Tapia is so far away from the baseball, and George Springer gets all the way up to second base on that. 11th double of the season for Springer, and he's also extends his hitting streak. He has an 11-game hitting streak right now after that double down the line. 2-2 pitch now by Freeland. That is a fastball that misses outside for ball 3. And honestly, I'm not going to be that upset if you walk him here to get to Nicky Lopez, who is sitting on deck. So 3-2, work carefully here with Pages here, and he doesn't. I mean, he grooves a fastball down the middle, but Andy Pages does not take advantage, just misses that pitch, flies it harmlessly into center field here at Hampton to make the play there. Here at Hampton and Tyler Wade, a couple of reserves are playing and starting in this game for Tampa Bay. And Tyler Wade was just called up recently. I think he doesn't even have an at-bat right so far this season. 3-1 pitch to him here. That's a good four-seamer down in the zone, and Wade swings and fouls it away. So the count moves to full now. 40th pitch of the game so far for Zach Wheeler here on the full count. And it's a swing and a miss on a slider. Way early on that pitch was Tyler Wade, way out in front of it. Saw that pitch was going to be grooved, and I guess he got a little over anxious and a little excited at that pitch right there, and swung right, way early on, and now it's Willie Churio Jr., and he's going to swing and miss at a high fastball there up in the zone. Tyler Freeland gets his first strikeout of the game right there on that pitch. Classic strikeout pitch on the high fastball there. And he burned it right by Willis Hero Jr. there. So now here's Will Smith. And that's another fastball. That was a really good pitch right there to begin the at-bat. 0 for 1 on the day and 0 for 4 so far in this series. So this is the second game of this series between these two teams, it seems. 1-1 pitch now. It's a ground ball over to LeMahieu, and he's just going to go to first base here and get that out and end the third inning. So that's a good frame and working around a hit. Expo's got 4 hits so far through 3 innings, but only have the 1 run. 1-2-3, top of the 4th for Zach Wheeler. Now we're in the bottom of the 4th. Another base runner here. DJ LeMahieu has it. He goes to second for 1, and on to first. It is a double play. Really good turn started by DJ LeMahieu there at third base. I did not really think that was going to be a double play there initially, but a great play on that one. Wipes away the base runner. 2 on, or nobody on here with 2 out in the inning now. Yeah, Peralta is at the plate. He swings at a fastball. That was outside of the zone. Good pitch by Freeland, and that's an out. That'll end the 4th. So Kyler Freeland, since the first inning, has a couple of hits here, but he's able to work around him. Has not allowed a run yet. Zach Wheeler has, definitely effectively settled in to this game so far, and he's pitched 4 brilliant innings. So here's JT Realmuto. He's going to swing and foul that one off. He struck out once already today. Now the count is 2-2 to him here, and he's going to take a fastball that just misses outside of the zone. Kevin Pillar with the 211 average is on deck here. 3-2 pitch to JT here from Zach Wheeler. It's a swing and a drive. JT out to left field. Pines looks up, and that ball is gone. JT Realmuto with his 6th of the year, and he will tie the game here at 1 in the 5th inning. Kind of a startling start for this slugger catcher right here, but he's got a lot of power in that bat. He shows it off. 379, just over the wall in left center field. Huge swing right there, and we are knotted up as that's a swing and a miss. Pedro Leon is late on that pitch, and that's the 5th strikeout, or the 4th strikeout for Zach Wheeler tonight. But doesn't come until the first hit of the game for the Vipers is a beautiful swing by Realmuto and a solo blast. So we're back to dead even here now again as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And here's Joey Votto at the plate. Potentially his final year in the majors this season. I'm not actually sure. I'm not actually convinced that he's going to. I don't even know. I don't think he retired after this season in real life. I don't know if I want him to play next year or not. We'll have to see by the end of the year. I'm not determined that yet, but that's the 2nd strikeout for Freeland there, and now he gets a grounder over to LeMahieu. LeMahieu's making a lot of plays right now, and that is the end of the 5th inning. 1-2-3 frame for Freddie. No, not Freddie. I don't know why I said him, Freddie Freeman's name there, but I was about to. Kyle Freeland, a 1-2-3 inning for him there. Now we're already in the 6th, so a pitcher's duel game that's going by pretty quickly here. And Luis Correme is at the plate. 2 out, 1 on in the top of the 6th inning, and he's going to pop it up in the infield. Ponce Alberto is there, makes that catch, ends the 6th inning. And I'm not sure if they're going to let Wheeler go in the 7th. I would assume so, probably because he still has only given up, 2 hits in this game. And just not a lot of base runners at all. So we're in the bottom of the 6th. Kyle Freeland only has 66 pitches. As Lourdes Gilliam Jr. is going to swing and miss at that changeup way in the dirt. That was pretty filthy pitch right there, and Kyle Freeland gets his 3rd strikeout of the game on that. So, he got a base hit and an RBI one at that in the beginning of the game, but Gurriel struck out twice. Now it's Will Smith, who's grounded out twice. Kyle Freeland really has had a great game after giving up a run in the 1st inning and somehow does not get credit for that strike at the top of the zone. That was definitely in there. So now it's a 3-1. You got to work with what the umpire calls, and he's going to get a fly ball here to right field. Ramon Tapia is underneath it, shakes off the missed call, and gets through the 6th inning. So awesome starts for both of these pitchers here. Both of them through 6 really cleanly. 3, 4, and 5 for Tampa Bay. In the 7th inning, Zach Wheeler with 90 pitches on the day. DJ LeMahieu is up with 2 out. Peralta's going to catch that one. Line drive right to him, though. In right. That ends the inning. That probably is the last inning there for Zach Wheeler, who pitches 7 masterful frames in this one. What a good start back after the injury for him. So we're in the bottom of the 7th, and Kyle Freeland can still go a couple more frames. He only has 74 pitches here with Alex Kirilloff beginning the inning. And there's a fly ball. This one's shallow center, and Garrett Hampson can't catch it. Good backup by Ramon Tapia. Hampson trying to dive after it, but he can't get to it. It falls just in front of him, and that is a hit. I think it's the 1st hit in a couple of innings in this game for the Montreal Expos. So base runner here, and a leadoff base runner at that. Now George Springer is going to fly it into left field, and Leone is there. He makes the catch, and they will throw it back onto the infield. That's an out. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze, but I'm not actually doing it. Most miserable feeling in the world it's sometimes, but now there's a wind down. David Peralta, he is walking up to the plate now. This is a huge spot in the game right now, and we're going to actually go and take Kyle Freeland out of the game, and so we'll remove him here with 1 out in the 7th inning. Not really for pitch count reasons. I just felt like we needed to bring in a top-notch relief pitcher from this bullpen. Jake McGee had been warming up for a couple of innings here, and we're bringing him out onto the game. 12.1 innings at 2.19 ERA for him so far this season. Stepping into, a situation, not a clean inning for him, and he gives up a base hit here immediately, his 1st pitch out of the bullpen. So this might be a decision that you look back on and you kind of think, oh man, maybe we shouldn't have done that, as now there's 1st and 3rd, only 1 man out with Joey Votto at the plate. There's the 1-1 to Votto. It's a slider that is close, but Votto still got pretty good plate discipline, even at 39 years old, and he does not bite on that slider, just on the corner. That could have gone either way, honestly. That pitch right there. 2-1 now is a ground ball over to Torkelson. He's got it. He's going to go to 2nd, get it out there, and they go back to first with a pitcher covering and get the double play. Wow, what a double play right here. And, I mean, really only turnable because Joey Votto has no speed at all, but great throw at 2nd base right there by the shortstop. Huge play, and that keeps the game tied at 1. Man, the best situation to score in this game for this team since the 1st, and they can't take advantage. Julian Merriweather is coming out of the bullpen with a 2.6 ERA this year, but that was Montreal's best chance to score. Maybe, all night since the 1st. Can't do it. There's a hit by pitch. 2nd one of the game for Montreal pitching here. And now there's a base runner for Tampa Bay, who hasn't got a lot going in this game. They only have 3 hits so far today, and I think only 5 or 6 base runners or so. So this is a big at-bat. This is a big inning here. And this is a big pitch coming up for Julian Merriweather. And it's a curveball, and it's a filthy pitch by Merriweather. That is a perfect off-speed pitch right there, and he gets the strikeout. Man, look at where that one was, right on the corner. 5-inch break. It starts in the middle of the zone and just plunges down near the bottom of it. That was a brilliant pitch right there. And now Ramon Tapia is at the plate, trying to steal 2nd base, and getting gunned down at 2nd base by Will Smith is the base runner. Great play right here as he jumps up makes a perfect throw and guns him down. The bottom of the 8th, and I don't really like this decision right here to bring in Gavin Williams, who is, I mean, just their worst bullpen pitcher that they have on the team. 283 average against righties. I mean, those averages against are pretty dang high. I don't know why you go to Gavin Williams here in this spot. He is your worst relief pitcher. I don't understand the decision-making by the CPU, but it does this all the time where it brings in a relief pitcher that is just not the right guy for the situation. It's one of the things about the CPU logic in the game that annoys me the most, honestly, and something that seems pretty easy for the show to fix. I don't know why they can't improve the CPU logic in that kind of a way, but either way, now you got to deal with it, and he's got to face at least 3 hitters here as Roman Quinn comes on as a pinch runner, and Nicky Lopez is going to lay a bunt down here, and it's going to be a perfect bunt. I mean, not perfect because he didn't reach base, but a perfect sacrifice. At least it does exactly what you wanted to do there. You move the base runner now in the scoring position. So this is now the biggest spot of the game here for Montreal in a tie game with Hansel Alberto at the plate. An 0-2 count to him, and it's a ground ball, and this is going to be an unproductive out. Doesn't remove Roman Quinn, the runner, over at all, and that is out number 2. That is a big, big pitch. And with Lourdes Gurriel Jr. coming up, 1 for 3, a double, 4 RBIs, and a homer in this series. With that kind of a hitter coming up, we're going to go back to the bullpen. We're going to bring out this team's best relief pitcher that has been pitching this year, and it's Ryan Harper, 2.6 ERA and 17.1 innings here. So here we go. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at the plate here with 2 down in the 8th. 1-2 pitch is a ground ball past the diving glove of Torkelson. Donald Tapia is up with it. The throw home is not in time. Roman Quinn just beats it out, and Gurriel Jr. comes up with another clutch hit right here on that low pitch. I mean, he just takes and drives it into right, just past the first baseman. What a swing. Montreal takes the lead in the 8th inning. And this team's best hitter comes up clutch again. Wow. So a huge swing right there, and that was a great job, a great call to bring out a different runner there, a pinch runner in that situation, because Roman Quinn, you have any other guy on the base pass there, and I think Ramon Tapia has you thrown out. I mean, this is a close play at home plate, a lot closer than I expected it to be. Look at that. Roman Quinn just gets in there ahead of the tag. That was a fantastic play right there. And now, here's the closer. 14 out of 15 in save opportunities. Corey Knebel has been awesome this season. 257 average against righties, 261 average against lefties here. And he's looking for his 15th save of the year. Montreal looking for their 24th win of the season. It is 1, 2, and 3 for Tampa Bay, so a really good spot in their batting order to try and mount a comeback. And here's Tapia, who's going to line this one right into right field and right to Roman Quinn. And he's going to get on base. So that's a base runner for you. Tying run is on to begin the 9th. Here's a 1-1 pitch, and Gourmet is trying to lay down a bunt. He cannot do it successfully on either of his first 2 strikes. So now it's 1-2. Now you got to probably have him swing away here on this pitch. As the pitch is a 4-seamer, 98 straight gas, and he just can't keep up with it. Wow, what a pitch right there. Guillorme swinging late on it. Monster out number 1 in the 9th. Disappointing right there. You had to do something to try and move that base runner over. And now the 1-0, and now Tapia is trying to steal, and you don't steal against Will Smith. He is so good behind the backstop, and he just guns another base runner down. Wow. 1.87 catcher pop time right there. What a play by Will Smith. And now it's 2 outs and nobody on base. 3-0 count. Spencer Torkelson walks. So we really should not have tried to steal with Ramon Tapia, because you would have had first and second with only 1 man out if you didn't try that. I mean, all things considered, and maybe he doesn't walk, maybe you change up the pitches, but that was I think, a mistake. Now George Springer is going to run over here. This is a high fly ball, pretty deep center field, but Springer had a track on it. He chops it down, and he makes the catch to end the game. And a big victory for the Montreal Expos in a really fun game right here. Pitchers duel, and it ends with a 2-1 Montreal victory in this one here at home. Great game. That was an awesome double play turn right there. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had a couple of absolutely clutch hits as the Expos, they score in the first and they score in the eighth to get a win. Corey Knebel with save number 15 on the season. And only 4 hits for Tampa Bay. Their offense just really did not show up in this game for the most part, except for the home run by Realmuto. But, only 3 hitters got a hit in this one. And Ramatape responsible for half of the hits in this game for Tampa Bay. I mean, everybody, from Kevin Pillar down 0 for 17 right there from those hitters down. So, yeah, the bottom of the order for Tampa Bay did absolutely nothing in this game. A couple of guys got caught stealing and really big moments. Kyle Freeland had an excellent start, though, today. 6.1 innings, 6 hits, and only 1 earned run allowed, 3 strikeouts. Really awesome game for him. Jake McGee got a big, massive double play. Bill Lewis is ERA to 2.08, and Gavin Williams gets handed the loss. He gives up another run. The ERA is up to 5.2 now. Ryan Harper gets an out, doesn't get charged with the run, but does give up the go-ahead hits in the 8th inning. So look at the offense for Montreal, and a little bit more offense here for them. 9 total hits in this one. Lopez had one of them. Alberto had one. But Lourdes Gurriel Jr., obviously player of the game. I don't really know why they gave it to Corey Knebel here. I think it's pretty obvious. The Lourdes Gurriel Jr., the player of the game for this one, 2 for 4. Both of the RBIs in this one belong to him. He got his 10th double of the season. He's got 17 RBIs on the year now. Alex Kirilloff had a couple of hits as well in this one. And Springer had his 11th double. And Zach Wheeler, first start back after an injury, and he pitched lights out. He pitched awesome. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts. Merriweather, a scoreless inning. He gets credit for the win, and then Corey Knebel with the save in the 9th. And I was going into a game here to play with Brad Keller after the trade, and guess what? He got hurt. That is just brutal. I've never seen that before. That is just so incredibly unlucky for San Diego. And he got hurt for like 3 or 4 months. So he's not even going to be back until after the All-Star break. That is just terrible. And that makes that trade that Nashville just pulled off look really good for them. Because the guy that the Sharks got, at least one of them, isn't even going to get to play for a very long time. That really sucks for San Diego. That is just really unfortunate. You also saw Roddy Tellez get hurt as well here in some injury updates. And this game was crazy between San Diego and Salt Lake. San Diego right now, 26-19. They're really pitching well. Playing well right now overall. But, yeah, Keller only pitched like 1 or 2 innings there. So that's a brutal injury. And once again, if you're San Diego, you're back to trying to figure out how you want to structure that pitching rotation. But Roddy Tellez, he's going to be hurt until at least the All-Star break there, it seems. And he was playing pretty well. He was one of his team's better hitters on their team, to be honest with you. He was their DH, and he is out now. So you got to figure out who you want to put in that spot now with him being hurt for that long of time. You got to worry about Bonifacio, who is on the bench right now, who's been pretty good, actually, in his limited action. Donovan Solano was also there. And you also got Ramon Urias as well. And I initially put Donovan Solano in this lineup here, but you'll see what I did in a minute. I didn't actually keep these changes. I had to call somebody up. And the guy that we called up, I just ended up putting him in the starting lineup. And in retrospect, I probably should have put Jorge Bonifacio there as the DH because he's got big potential. Maybe you should have wanted him to get more at-bats. so that he could get a little bit better, but I didn't do that. By the way, Jaden Hill, Trent Priester, those guys are big potential pitchers that this team is developing. And Dave Franco also had a really good month of baseball in the minors. So those are some league updates for this team here with some of their prospects. There's a look at Luis Rios here. He was their number one. He was their round one draft selection, 99 potential guy. He is already developing. He's not hitting very well right now in AA, though, unfortunately. Ryan Bliss also has deep potential, but he is struggling right now, only batting 220, basically. And Robert Newstrom, 76 overall. I kind of like where his stats are, actually, to be honest, with the here. But let's see, Dave Franco, batting 322, 2 homers, 10 RBIs already, and 11 steals. So he's been hitting really well, like where his numbers are at. Damien Colon is also another guy in this outfield that is a prospect for them. So we call up Edwin Rios to the Major League team, and we put him in the lineup to start. So that's what we did there, and that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I know this is a shorter episode for you guys, only one full game here and some injury updates, but this is, just how I ended up structuring this video, because next time on this channel will be the MLB draft here in year 1. So that'll be next time. We'll go through the draft when I come back with the end. That video will come out very shortly, and then we'll get to the offseason for UConn Huskies Dynasty. But subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from me. I'm Lucas Johnson. Thank you guys for watching this channel, and I appreciate your videos, and appreciate you guys watching my videos. I appreciate your support, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day, everybody. God bless.